Hey, what's happening there? It's Gardening Coach Jeff for Sustainable Hydroponics. Today we are going to talk about microbes. Those little things that live at the bottom of your pot, down with your root zone. See you, man. Alright, welcome guys to Sustainable Hydroponics. I'm Jeff, your gardening coach. We're going to be talking about microbes today and all the different types of ways we can inoculate our soil or even our hydroponic setups. Since we're talking hydroponics, we're going to go straight to it. With soil and with hydroponics, you've got different things happening in the root zone based off of the fact that we don't necessarily have anything living in the hydroponics zone like we do in the root zone of a soil. So we do have to kind of add that and supplement it as we go along through our growth phase. So Advanced Nutrients has some really good microbial and fungal bases that just work really good. These additives pretty much work with most of their organic lines, but for the most part, these just do a really good job keeping your root zone nice and healthy and productive. One thing that we always talk about down here is healthy roots, healthy fruits, right? So one of the next products that we have for our hydroponics is we need to get all of our roots going very quickly as babies. So this stuff is really great during the veg and the bloom stage, even during the smaller ones, but sometimes we don't need as much of a dosage on smaller scale. So like the Roots Accelerator, the Cyclone has an amazing product. I really highly recommend theirs. And Mammoth D is another microbial product that we can add through the entire cycle of the plant's growth phase and flowering phase. So these are really more geared towards the use in hydroponics versus some of these other products. A couple of my favorites, we're moving into the soil range, is the Great White and the Clonex. Great White is also water soluble, but I like to add just the powder of it straight into my soil when I do my transplants. So anytime I'm transplanting, anytime I'm doing seedlings, even cuttings, all of that stuff gets a little dose of the Great White or even the Clonex. I'm in soil, so water soluble doesn't make a huge difference to me, whereas I just like the powder or the more granular base. It just seems to be more natural in the soil. I have noticed amazing results with both of these products. It comes down to a matter of opinion at my stance. The next ones we've got is the Dr. Root from the Cultured Biologics. These guys have a really nice product. From what I understand, they go nuts for this stuff just because of, again, it's a water soluble rooting powder. It really just helps when you're doing transplants and seedlings and stuff like that. The Rootwise Biofos, these guys have all kinds of different rooting powders, not just the Biofos. This is one that's just really popular with us. And again, all of these products are going to basically do the same thing. We're adding bacterial and fungal inoculates into the soil to create this living base that helps produce or break down all the stuff that we're putting into our media to feed the plants. So we start talking, when we're giving microbial teas, we start feeding our veg newts and our flowering newts. If they're not synthetic, what's breaking all of that stuff down? We need these microbes to start breaking down that organic plant matter, or that organic matter, to become available for the plant to be able to make its photosynthesis happen. So we're gonna go down, and I've kind of highlighted extreme gardening on its own just because these guys basically gear their entire formula on microbes. So you start off with just your microbial, this is just a mycorrhiza granular powder that you add at your root zone when you're talking, again, seeds, cuttings, and stuff like that. This next one is a tea. So after you've added this, now we need to feed our plants. So this tea is another microbial tea that as you brew it, it's gonna activate and release all the stuff, and these guys are gonna be ready to feed when you get it into your soil, and that's gonna juice up everything that's happening around the root zone here. We've got root powder packs. These are really nice, just makes for a super easy application. The Mycos right here is the same thing as this smaller one, but it also comes in a water-soluble powder, so you can use it hydroponically, which is something that's amazing when we're trying to incorporate organics into our inorganic soil, or necessarily, I should say, our inert media. Coco coir is a great way to go, and all of this stuff performs in coco coir the way it would in soil, which is something it's amazing when we start talking about hybridizing the hydroponics and the soil world. So I hope that helped, guys. If you got any questions or anything, please come down to Sustainable Hydroponics and Organic Garden Supply in Grand Junction or in Rifle. Make sure you're coming to see us on our spring party, April 27th at our Grand Junction location. Thank you very much, guys. Gardening Coach out. Hey, it's your Gardening Coach Jeff here. Stay tuned next week. We're going to be talking media from soil to cocoa, all the way down to clay balls and perlite. See you next week.